Hi everyone, so it's Mr. Gogi again with another lesson. So this is a continuation of two other previous videos that we have posted. Okay, so today we are going to continue the lesson from a previous video. Alright, so we are looking at conditionals if. It's a very common sentence that is used by everyone. Okay, it is to explain the possibilities. So if means what if. Okay, so explain possibilities. Now we have looked at zero conditional sentence and also first conditional sentence. Today we are going to look at second conditional sentence. Second conditional sentence. Okay, so second conditional sentence are useful for expressing outcomes that are completely unrealistic, completely not possible. Okay, so it will not likely happen in the future. All right, so let's look at some examples. If I inherited a billion, I would buy the moon. Okay, so if I inherited a billion, I would buy the moon. Let's see the sentence. For the if clause, unlike zero conditional sentence and first conditional sentence, if you look at second conditional sentence, the verb that we use becomes simple past tense. Simple past tense. Whereas the main clause, okay, the main clause, we can see the word. What word is this? We call them auxiliary models. So when you use an auxiliary model, the verb that follows must always be in root word. Okay, regardless of the subject, whether it is singular or plural, when you use an auxiliary model, the verb that follows must always be root word. Okay, so as for auxiliary models, there are a few examples of auxiliary models that I would like to give here. For example, would, could, should. Okay, these are some of the common auxiliary models that we can find, that we can use actually, right? Or that is also might. Okay, so these are some of the common auxiliary models. Yeah. Oh, so when you use second conditional sentence to talk about or to express unlikely outcomes, okay, things that will never happen. Okay, so if I inherited a billion, okay, this might happen. You might inherit a billion, but you can never buy the moon because it doesn't belong to anyone. Who are you supposed to go and pay the money in order to purchase the moon? So it doesn't belong to anyone, so it will never happen, right? So if I inherited a billion, I would buy the moon. So you have to use an auxiliary model here in order to complete the sentence. A very common mistake among students is the usage of simple present tense here. For example, they might come up with a sentence that says like this: if he come to my house, father will scold him. Okay, right, so if you see, yeah, so if he come to my house, my father will scold him. There are a few mistakes here in this sentence. First of all, if he comes to my house, my father will scold him, right? But if you guys realize, this is first conditional sentence. Things that are most likely to happen but not guaranteed. Now we are going to change this into a second conditional sentence where we are going to talk about an unrealistic thing. Okay? Father will turn to Hulk. Okay, so it is impossible for your father to turn into a Hulk because Hulk is just a Marvel character. It is an imaginary character that is not real. Okay, so if he comes to my house, my father will turn into Hulk. So what is the mistake here? Because this is a second conditional sentence, the verb that we use for the if clause must be changed to simple past tense, which is if he came to my house, my father would turn into Hulk. Alright? See, if he came to my house, my father would turn into a Hulk. Alright? So that is the explanation. That is the second conditional sentence. So please keep that in mind, people. For second conditional sentence, for the if clause, we have to use simple past tense, and for the main clause, we have to use auxiliary modal. Thank you.